Hello and welcome to Real Reviews. My name is Jameson Rabbit, and the man seated next to me builds his snowman from the head down. His name is Mike Roth.
It's a levitation trick I learned from a little green man from Agobah. If you ever heard of?
Are these words you're saying?
Nah, there's half.
Little green men.
So I levitate the head.
Okay.
And then I roll with the other hand while I'm levitating. And
Nice.
I shove it right underneath.
This is not the way I thought it happened,
No,
but I'm in.
the tricky part is I don't put any facial features on it.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this week we have a couple of films to talk about, and we've got a list for you. It's been a while since we did a little list show, but we've got one coming up in a little bit. But first, I'm going to get us started off with a film that I saw called Thelma from director Joachim Trier. It stars Ellie Harbo as the titular character, Thelma. This is a Norwegian film, Mike. Thelma is a shy, quiet young lady who goes off to college, and she's lonely. And she suffers a seizure, and she's not sure what causes it. The doctors aren't sure what causes it, but she has this seizure, which also leads to these birds attacking windows. So right away, you know how I feel about this. Birds are coming at you. I'm having some issues. But anyways,
I could just picture you sweating through
I
this
was
whole
too.
movie.
She's having a rough transition to college. She comes from a traditional Christian family and feels like she's kind of the outcast here at college. And she kind of begins questioning and challenging her faith. And, at this age where a lot of this comes into play of what she believes and trying to break away. She meets and begins a relationship with this other young lady, Anya, played by Kaya Wilkins. And Anya kind of offers her a chance to try different things in college of various things. These seizures continue, though. She continues to have these mysterious seizures. And with these seizures come these metaphysical occurrences around her. She'll have a seizure, and then something will happen like you see here. A window will shatter, and it's completely unexplained. She has these visions, too, and they are really odd visions. There are visions that have, like, snakes going into people's mouths and birds attacking and really odd things, and also visions of her childhood where she realizes that these seizures came into play as a child, and they affected her parents and also her baby brother. It's really interesting. You also have this whole thing of, at the beginning of the movie, actually, they have a disclaimer that says, if you suffer epileptic seizures, you might not want to watch this movie.
Ooh.
Because part of the film is she goes into this clinic, into the doctor, and they're trying to trigger her seizures. Mm-hmm. And so there's intense flashing lights.
That the whole audience gets to experience.
I don't think I have epilepsy, but I'll tell you what, it got so intense that I looked away in fear that it would trigger something because it was some intense light flashing going on. And so that was interesting just to have that from the jump. And you're kind of left with this question of, does she have any control over these seizures? Does she have any control over the metaphysical things that are happening as she's having these seizures? And then the question of good versus evil starts to come into play. If she does have any kind of control, some of the things aren't necessarily great. Is she good? Is she evil? She's questioning her faith. These weird visuals of snakes come in. And all of it really starts to build this really slowly developing story of what is she? Who is Thelma really?
What would you classify this movie as?
I think if you had to pick a genre, it's a horror movie.
Okay.
It's a very slowly developing, really quiet, deliberate horror story. It felt a lot to me like It Comes at Night that we saw earlier this year. Mm-hmm. Very slowly developing with a child who may or may not have something going on, may or may not have some control over the boogeyman. And so it kind of is reminiscent of that. And then, obviously, there's some amazing visuals throughout this entire film, and just the starkness of being in Norway. And so the main thing that I came away with this movie is the question of is it destructive to the soul to be able to make things that you want happen? If you could just make anything that you want happen, is it good for you?
Yeah.
To fulfill all your wants?
Yes.
It's an interesting question that's kind of posed here. And so I like the film quite a bit. I was hoping for some of the loose threads. There was a lot of loose threads that were left open. Okay. There's a third act reveal that is truly terrifying, and that is great, but they left a lot of things from the first 2 acts open that I wanted to see finished up.
So somewhat kind of rushed, like they had a lot of things that they're writing about but didn't have enough time to...
And no, it just seemed like they focused solely on this one thing that was revealed in the third act and kind of left a couple of things out there. It was an interesting reveal that was kind of terrifying, but I enjoyed the movie. I gave it 3.5 stars, I think, maybe 4. Let's see what I gave it. X stars.
That is a new one.
It's tremendous. I'm giving it 3.5 stars.
There we go.
I just realized I forgot to give our producers my star
that
rating.
Probably,
That's on me. So yeah, I give Thelma 3.5 stars. I think it's an interesting film worth watching.
I'm definitely going to check that out.
All right.
You know how I like horror movies.
Absolutely.
And, artful films like that. Just
What do you have? What art film do you have?
Well, I have the big movie on the marquee
Yikes.
this week. Just Getting Started, directed by Ron Shelton, written by Ron Shelton. He also wrote White Men Can't Jump. And
I like
a couple other very famous movies back from the 90s. What we have here is Morgan Freeman. He is like the director of the senior citizens home, and his life is more fantastic than anybody else's life ever. He has multiple girlfriends. He has tons of money. He's golfing all day. He's like one of the best golfers ever.
Ooh.
There is nothing wrong with his life until Tommy Lee Jones moves in. And Tommy Lee Jones is just like that, but better. Well, these two squabble back and forth about, being the best man on earth.
Sure.
And then there was a little confrontation with the mob, and they get together, and they have to work together, blah, 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 the end of the story. This is really a very uninteresting movie.
Really?
Yeah. This is really kind of set up in a way where I felt like the actors were like, I don't want really anything complicated. I just want you to make me look like I am super awesome. And then you could get Tommy here, too, if you make him look really awesome also, because their lives are seemingly perfect, like overly perfect,
Sure.
to the point where it's almost a superpower.
Okay.
But it's not a
Looks like they're
fiction.
having fun.
Yeah, they're having fun. They rib each other back and forth. They play golf together. They play games, trying to best each other. I really did like seeing Glenn Headley. I haven't seen her in a while, and she is a main character in this. She's a love interest that both Morgan Freeman and
Tommy Lee Jones.
Sure. are both interested in. There's also a bumbling hitman.
Oh, gotta have one of those.
You never really know who it is, but he always does like extremely silly things like, well, I'm going to kill Morgan Freeman by putting a poisonous snake in his golf bag because no one would know that's not an accident.
Yeah.
Either way, this movie was dull. It really wasn't meant for me. I think it was meant for maybe an older crowd who was hoping that life gets more awesome at 70 instead of a kind of a real thing where everybody is just normal, everybody is just heightened to a point where they're super awesome. Which
you sound so enthused about
which
this
got
movie.
really, really, really tiresome. But I'll just bring you my scores.
What do you got?
Well, there was a 1. I only gave this movie a 1. It was not a good movie. Not funny. Don't like it.
That's too bad.
There.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, what can you do? I did like.
I mean, it didn't look good.
I did like seeing a lot of the actors, but
Yeah.
I felt like they all were playing some cheesy roles that they could just pump out and get some money off of it.
Felt lazy to me.
It really was.
No good. No good. All right. As I promised, we have a little list for you this episode. We like to do when we're We have a dearth of movies.
This one was a little tougher than I thought it was.
So this was interesting because we are in the Christmas season, and a couple of years ago we already did the easy one, our favorite Christmas films.
Yep.
If you want to see that, go back into the archives, go to sunpraymediacenter.com, go back to a Christmas episode from a couple of years ago.
Yep.
You can see our favorite Christmas films.
Yeah.
So instead, what did we end up doing this week?
Well, I was thinking, what if it was just Santa hats? Because there's tons of movies that display Santa hats that aren't necessarily Christmas movies.
Yeah.
And we're going to pick the best characters that didn't have Santa hats. I failed miserably. It was really tough because in my head, I'm thinking of all these memes that you see on the internet of Scarface, Tony Montana.
I really
wearing
wanted you to
Christmas
use
hat,
the Scarface one. I should have just left it.
Or Wade Wilson wearing because I did some cross checking for everything, and I realized that
Those aren't real
everything
things.
that I remembered that had a Santa hat wasn't actually true.
Now you don't know whether you can trust your memory at all anymore.
No, I can't. And I wasn't going to put down Die Hard.
Perhaps
That's
it's the
your
sweater.
thing.
So we're talking about favorite film characters that have a Santa hat anywhere in the film, right? Somebody's wearing a hat.
Yeah, and this is not necessarily my favorite because I feel like a lot of it is just rehashing our Christmas show, and I didn't want to do that. I really didn't. I got creative on.
All right. Well, why don't you start it off? Go ahead, get creative. What's your number 5 character wearing a Christmas hat?
This year was the first year I saw Long Kiss Goodbye. I thought it was a great movie. Gina Davis, she plays Samantha Kane, a woman that had amnesia, and she had this cute little suburban life out in a small town. She's just the queen of this little town.
She's a soccer mom.
She's a soccer mom. Everything that you would want in life. Life is perfect. Not Morgan Freeman perfect, but pretty darn perfect. Until all of a sudden her memories start coming back. And she starts realizing, I was like an evil assassin.
I am an assassin at heart.
And I loved her character. It's not typically a Christmas movie, but she does wear a Santa hat.
You see it right there? Look at that.
In the beginning of the film.
Nice. I love Long Kiss Goodnight, and I'd forgotten about that.
Yeah.
I think, that's one of my favorite Gina Davis characters.
It was fantastic. I think that role really did spawn a lot of these other type of amnesia.
Sure.
Yeah.
Your femme fatale.
Exactly.
Oh, boy. Yeah. Right up until, I think we did it because of Atomic Blonde this year.
Yeah, we did.
Very fitting. All right. So my number 5 almost feels like cheating. I'm not sure what that is. But my number 5 is Jack Skellington from Nightmare Before Christmas. He just wants to be Santa.
Yeah.
That's all he wants. I love this film. I love that it serves 2 holidays at once, so I can have an excuse to watch it twice.
Yep.
Jack Skellington, a guy who lives in Halloween Town, but he just loves him some Christmas.
And he wants to be Christmas.
Yes.
But he wants to fix Christmas to be more like Halloween,
Right.
and I think that's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And the tunes in this is actually really catchy.
They are really catchy.
They're not something that I could really whistle without people like looking at me weird, but they get stuck in your head.
Put a Santa hat on Jack Skellington. It's a good time.
It's a good time.
All right, you're number 4, sir.
Number 4, Gremlins, 1984. Zach Gillian plays Peter Peltzner.
Okay.
Peltzer.
I'll go with you on it.
Oh, he
I don't
ends
know
up
Peter's
getting
last
this
name.
little monster. It's a little fuzzy mogwai.
Yeah.
And Gizmo.
He's so cute.
And everything would be fine if it would be the perfect pet if Billy could just follow 3 simple rules. And he, of course, breaks all of them, and they turn into monsters and
Kids these
totally
days.
kill lots of people in a small town. But Gizmo wears a Santa hat. Therefore, Gizmo is one of my favorite Santa hat characters.
Does Spike wear a Santa hat in Gremlins too?
No, it was a random
gremlin
that was in the bar because they had all these different types of things. And no, I thought Stripe did, and when I did an internet search, I could not find anything.
But
you
Gizmo
wouldn't
does.
believe how many image searches I went through and just thoroughly disappointed.
I'd love to see your computer search history.
No.
All right, so my number 4 is a guy who starts off as a bad guy, but then his heart grows 3 sizes. He is the Grinch from The Grinch Who Saved Christmas. How the Grinch Saved Christmas. I love him. I love both the early animated TV version, but I actually really enjoy the Jim Carrey version. It is the perfect amount of over the top. and this is the only of the live-action Dr. Seuss films that I can enjoy. I can't handle Mike Myers as the Cat in the Hat. I don't like it.
I'm trying to think of any other ones.
Didn't they do Horton Hears the Who?
That wasn't live action.
All right, I don't know. So this is still, I stand by my statement. This is the only one that I.
There we go.
Of the two. No, I love it. I enjoy this movie. I enjoy the story. I enjoy the characters in this. And the Grinch is one who I love. Again, you talk about music that gets caught in your head.
Yeah.
Love the Grinch theme. And yeah, it's perfect. It's the physical incarnation of the character that I loved growing up.
And Jim Carrey is an excellent prosthetics actor.
Right.
I mean, he doesn't do it anymore. But,
He acts right through those prosthetics.
Yes, he do.
Yeah, no doubt.
By the way, for your information, my favorite Dr. Seuss would be the Lorax.
That's a good movie.
That's a great one.
Nice choice. All right, your number 3, sir.
Santa. And here it just goes right into Christmas.
Like
hardcore.
any Santa?
Well, this is Santa from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the 1964 still frame animation classic. Everything about this just reminds me of Santa. When I think of Santa, I think of the still frame from this particular show. Not to mention all the other characters like Bonneville.
I love this. Oh man, I love this show. It's like of all the things that I have to watch Christmas season, Christmas cannot come until Rudolph has been watched.
I'll still quote the elf that
Hermie?
Yeah, Hermie every once in a while. Yeah, because I want to be a dentist. Yeah,
I'll sing some Silver and Gold.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
You ever see the remakes on Adult Swim of
Yes,
this? Yeah,
I have.
Those are hilarious.
But yeah, I love Rudolph. That's a good Santa. The problem is Santa barely wears his hat in that. He barely wears the jacket. He's a skinny Santa.
He does wear the hat.
All right. Very good. I don't want to step in on yours. My number 3 is... Hey, look at it. My number 3 is from a Christmas classic. I'm talking about National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Clark Griswold, America's favorite dad, who just wants to have the perfect Christmas. The whole family's coming and ostensibly staying at his house from Thanksgiving to Christmas, it seems, which is just a nightmare I could never imagine. Having both sets of in-laws staying at your house for a month.
Yep.
And he's doing the best he can. But I love Clark Griswold. I love his interactions with everyone, with Eddie, with everyone that comes, and just his frustration. And the iconic scene for me is him out front. He has just spent hours and hours and gone through all kinds of frustration to get the lights up on the house, puts the Christmas hat on, goes outside, calls everyone out, watch as I light the house up, and and nothing. What a waste.
I love this movie.
Yeah.
And you'll find out more.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's just...
That's what they call a tease in the business.
Yes. No, it's a fantastic movie. Every single scene except for one, I absolutely love. It's a small one, but the whole sled, when they bring out the sled and they oil it up with the synthetic oil.
Gets a little too campy for you?
Yeah, and then at the very
Later,
end.
dudes.
Yeah, that I didn't like, and the bingo, I didn't get it, and the Walmart advertisement.
Yeah.
The only part of the whole movie,
I can see
otherwise
that.
everything else is complete gold.
Yeah.
Done.
One of my favorite parts of Christmas Vacation is Julia Louis-Dreyfus and her husband, Todd.
Yeah.
And just how they are the complete opposite next door. And I love as Beverly D'Angelo's character is flipping the lights on and off, and she doesn't know as she's turning the light switch, it's blinding them next door, and they're just falling into things. That makes me laugh.
But I like the part where the thing goes through, and they're like, "Oh, how did the floor get so wet?" I don't know, Margot. I don't know why that's a quote, but I did.
Good stuff. It's good stuff. All right, your number 2, sir.
Number 2, Krampus. This is just came out a couple of years ago, 2015. This is one of my favorite horror movies for the Christmas time, and of course, Krampus is the exact opposite of Santa Claus. A little boy. Instead of wishing for presents and stuff like that, he kind of wishes his family would just go away. He doesn't want this, and Krampus is more than happy to oblige him.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much a movie where people get picked off one by one, and I just absolutely love it. It's a little funny, it's a little scary, it's all Christmas for me.
It's all Mike.
So Krampus wearing the Santa hat.
I love it. That's a good one. My number 2 is a man called Louis Winthorpe III, played by Dan Aykroyd in the movie Trading Places.
Yep.
Look at this guy.
Wow.
He is downtrodden. He has been beaten down by life, all over a bet about whether nurture versus nature.
Yep.
He has seen his life ruined. He is in desperation. He is suicidal. Nothing that's sadder than a guy in just a dirty, mangy Santa suit at the end of his string, and he has no idea why his life has been ruined. He had it all, and all over the bed of a couple of rich guys for $1.
Yep.
He finds himself in this sad state of affairs. And I love Dan Aykroyd in this movie.
This was an excellent choice.
Yeah.
I wish I thought of it.
That's good. Yes. Champion.
You did really well.
Thank you. Louis Winthorpe, that's my number 2. Who is your number 1?
Well, I'm not going to go on the tangent again, but National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Clark W. Griswold is my absolutely favorite character. Everything else could probably flip-flop as the seasons change and how my moods change, but this one will always be my tried and true favorite Christmas movie, favorite Santa hat wearing character. What can you say? It's Chevy Chase's one of his best films.
It really is. Yeah.
I love him in a lot of things that he did, but this one stands out more than all the other National Lampoons.
This is
or
the one
Fletch or whatever he did.
This is the one Christmas film that I will watch outside of the season.
Yep.
The other ones, I have strict rules about Christmas movies.
Yeah.
Like, well, we have a window when they are watched. Christmas Vacation, it's June, you want to put it in? Sure.
Yeah.
I'll watch it.
Yep.
And it's one of those films that you turn on TV, it's on, I don't care where it is, I'm sitting down.
In a lot of movies, comedies, the first time you watch them, you laugh. Second time, maybe third time. I've watched this thing every year
Because it's
at least 2 or 3 times.
It's not just a funny scene here and a funny scene there tied together with something loose. Like, it's a great story, and it's just fun, and there's great characters all through the movie.
I still laugh quite frequently through the whole movie.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
fantastic.
Good choice. But it's not the correct
good
choice
choice.
because my number 1 is also a man who wore a Santa hat, and he is, of course, Santa Claus himself from the movie Miracle on 34th Street.
What?
Yes.
You totally surprised me.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not the correct Santa, but we'll go with it. I'm talking about the 1947 version. Kris Kringle is actually who he is, played by Edmund Gwenn. I prefer the 47 version as opposed to this 90s version, but because Edmund Gwenn is Santa Claus to me.
Yeah.
He is just everything about him as he is on trial. That movie gets me teary-eyed every time I watch it, and he is the epitome of Santa Claus. So.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
He is a great Santa Claus.
Yeah, he is. So
Not better than Clark.
all right, fair enough. So those are our top 5 favorite characters who wore Santa hats. Let's take a look ahead at what is going to be coming soon. Mike, I have got a mad list of movies for us coming in the upcoming week. Oh, brother.
All right. Well,
Get
I'm
ready to watch some movies over the holiday weekend.
It hit me.
All right, so starting on Wednesday, December 20th, we have 2 movies in nationwide release on a Wednesday, getting ahead of the Christmas weekend. We have The Greatest Showman, the movie about P.T. Barnum, starring Hugh Jackman et al. That movie looks pretty tremendous.
This is looking like, to me, like a musical.
It is. It's from I believe it's from the same guy who did Moulin Rouge, Australia,
All right.
all these musicals. Looks pretty interesting to me.
Yeah, and I like those movies,
Yeah,
so I'm
why
assuming
not?
this one will be good.
Also that day, we have the Jumanji sequel, Jumanji: Welcome to the Jungle, with The Rock and Kevin Hart and Jack Black and various characters.
Some people have been complaining that this shouldn't be remade, but it does look like a lot of fun. I think
it does
I'm
look
give
like
this
fun.
one a good chance.
So those are December 20th. Then Friday, December 22nd, when you're used to your movies coming out, we will have the newest Matt Damon film, Downsizing. How are we handling population overpopulation? We shrink everyone down to the size of my cell phone. That's how we handle it.
That one also looks really good, except for the molecules in the food are totally different shape.
I started off, when I first saw this trailer, I was excited, and as we've gotten closer,
Uh-huh.
I'm less and less excited for it. I don't know why. I don't know. And I've liked the guy who did this. I've liked previous, like he did, what's the one with Ben Stiller a couple years ago? The Fabulous Mr. Anyways, I don't know why I do that.
Fabulous Mr. Fox?
Nope, not at all.
I didn't think so.
Might not even be a word. I don't know. But anyways, downsizing. We also have Father Figures, the movie with Owen Wilson and Ed Helms out trying to find who their real dad is. Is it Terry Bradshaw? Who knows?
As this one goes along, every time I see the trailer, I get less interested in it.
Yeah.
And they change some of the punchlines of some of the jokes, which makes me think everything that I see, just like Daddy's Home, everything I see is not going to be in the movie.
Right. I think you're right. I think you're right. Secret Life of Walter Mitty. That's the movie I was trying to think of. Secret Life of Walter Mitty. Anyways, that's neither here nor there. Also, December 22nd, we have Pitch Perfect 3. The girls are back. They're going to sing. I hope there's a happy ending.
I just finished watching Pitch Perfect 1 and 2 in the past couple of weeks.
Those are played in our house kind of frequently.
Yeah, they're
flicks.
great.
They are good flicks. And then also in limited release, we have the hot Oscar flick, The Post, starring Meryl Streep and Tom Hanks, a couple of people who know their way around the Oscars.
I find it so odd that this is already like the buzz of being an Oscar-nominated film.
Yeah.
And we're nowhere close to seeing it.
'Tis the season. And then, Mike, finally, on Christmas Day itself, Monday, December 25th, we have 2 movies that will be coming out in limited release as well.
Ooh.
We have Molly's Game, the new movie with starring Jessica Chastain and Idris Elba.
Yep.
And we will also have Phantom Thread, the supposed final movie of Daniel Day-Lewis, his swan song within movies. A movie that led him, the consummate method actor, to go out and spend a year becoming a tailor, learning how to sew dresses for this role.
That's the kind of thing he does.
He's dedicated.
Yeah. And every movie he makes, I think he retires on, right?
I don't know. I hope this isn't it for him because I love him so much.
He
but
is great.
He claims that he's burnt out and he's ready to be done for a while.
I heard that back with There Will Be Blood, too. And he
That's
made
my favorite.
Quite a few.
It's my favorite of his movies. So good. Daniel, he's just so good. So anyways, I'm looking at 2, 4, 6, 7 movies on the marquee that week. Get your running shoes on. You're going to be seeing some movies.
Now, I know everybody thinks this is my full-time job, but really, I have another job, and I am plumb out of vacation time.
That's all right. They show them all through the night. You can go at 12 midnight, go watch a movie.
I'll probably end up
Who needs sleep? Anyways, those are the movies that will be coming out over your holiday weekend. A plethora of films. We also have, we have to thank our sponsor before I go.
Yeah.
We're wrapping up a show. I haven't even said anything about the Palace. Beautiful Marcus Theaters, Palace Cinema here in Sun Prairie. Thank you for sponsoring Real Reviews. We do appreciate it. I am looking forward to seeing these films within the Palace's confines, sitting in a dream lounger, relaxing with a soda.
And I want to let everybody know, this week in particular, please be extra kind to the employees at the Palace.
Why, what's going on this week, Mike?
Well, we have Star Wars, which is running like 48 hours straight.
Yes.
It is crazy how much they're playing it. So all these employees, they don't just let people, they don't sleep, they're working extra hours, so please be extra kind. Take care of your waste, throw them in the garbage can.
Rewind.
No one says
that doesn't come into play anymore?
That is so Gen X.
I wonder if kids know what that means.
No, they don't.
Why would they? Rewind what?
Why would you rewind your streaming?
What's physical media? Anyways, as Mike said, next week we're going to be talking about Star Wars The Last Jedi. We'll also have Ferdinand, if you wonder what John Cena looks like as a bull. And we are doing everything in our efforts to go see The Shape of Water, a film that both of us are frothing at the bit to go see.
I bought my tickets, but I don't want to, because we have to travel to see this one. So
I can't wait.
If something happens, like my car blows up.
Why put that into the universe? Let's hope Mike's car doesn't blow up.
There we go.
If you want to find more from us, you can always find us on Facebook or Twitter. Real Reviews TV, at Real Reviews TV on Twitter. You can find previous episodes. If you go onto YouTube, you can find us on there, Real Reviews, K-Sun. Or you can find 190 episodes by going to sunprairiemediacenter.com and going into the on-demand tab, and you can just watch all these great things that we've talked about in the past. Why not?
I don't see why anybody with some time on their hands wouldn't do that.
I agree. You'd be nuts not to. All right, let's get out of here. Let's go see some Star Wars. Until next week, I'm Jameson.
I'm Mike Roth.
Thanks for watching.